Good evening. I am so glad that you ladies were able to pivot with me tonight. And I will start here in about a minute. I'm a minute early. I'm just getting somebody else on with us. You should see, this is going to be our first card. Okay, somebody is on. I'm not quite sure who. Hopefully it's Linda. When you get here, please say that you're here so I know who's on with me. It is. It's Linda. Excellent. Okay. See, Linda, you could do it. Totally easy. When you want to do a live video, then you would hit the live button. You're just watching. Hi, Patty. How are you? This will be our first card that we're making tonight, which is really perfect for any male in your life for their birthday. It's not necessarily for a child. So I was very mindful of that when I was designing our class. And Doris is here too. Excellent. Lovely. So happy to see you ladies. Okay, so this is the first card we're going to do. It should be the first one in your envelope. Thank you so very much for pivoting. I had some weird stomach virus. I even went to urgent care and they gave me a shot of Zofran and then a prescription of Zofran. And today was the first day I kind of feel like a human. So it's kind of good. Alrighty, so you are going to have several pieces in your envelope for this card. You will have an argyle piece, a gray piece. You will have your base, which has already been stamped for you. Now, the stamp set that I used for this is a retired Stampin' Up stamp. I believe it was called In the Round or All Around or something like that. It was one of the very first that I actually purchased because I liked it. And I thought it would be very useful. So you would get these, and then you also would be able to make little pinwheels. So we're not making a pinwheel tonight, but we are going to make this super fun festive card. And let's get started. So what you're going to want to do is using your argyle piece first. You're going to get your adhesive, put that on. And of course, I'm nearing the end of another roll. And we're going to center this on the gray. So center that in your gray piece. Now we're going to take this entire piece and we're going to put it so that we have approximately, let's see, about 3/4 of an inch from the left-hand side, and then you'll have about 1/4 of an inch from the top and the bottom. And you're going to just put that on with your regular adhesive. I hope everybody is back to having power. All right, we're gonna set this about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, now the next thing that we need to do is we're going to attach the small centered circles into our two little pinwheeled pieces. And for this, I'm just going to use my liquid adhesive because it would be a lot easier. So you should have one that's slightly larger. That would be for the blue, the dark, like the navy blue. And then you're going to have a smaller circle, and that would be for that teal blue. So the colors in this I actually used close to my heart colors. They are Lagoon, Honey Butter, and Sapphire. So to put this together, let's dry fit it first, and then we will go back through and take one off at a time. You're going to put your Lagoon with the yellow center at the top. We are going to take our blue, the Sapphire blue one is going to overlap and almost be in the center of that argyle. We're going to take that super fun little burst, and that's going to want to be close and overlapping both of those. Our solid Sapphire one is going to go down here at the bottom, and then the one that says Time to Celebrate, this is the one that will have the foam tape on it. So I'm actually going to get a little bit of foam on that right now. Okay. And again, I'm just going to place it. So knowing that I need the Lagoon with the yellow circle done first, I'm going to take that one off first. I'm going to put my adhesive on the back. And I'm going to slide that one right back into place. Right there. Next, we need the dark navy. The Sapphire one is next, so I'm going to take that one off. Put my adhesive on the back. And I'm going to put this one on next, just like that. Now using my liquid glue, I'm going to put a little bit on this fun yellowed Starburst, I guess, would be a good name for it. And I'm going to kind of slide that down. I'm going to hold it for a second to make sure that all that glue sticks to my base. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that other dark Sapphire one, and I'm going to put this one on next, because the last one has the foam and we want it to be on the top. I'm going to slide this one under. Okay, now let's take our backing off of our dots of foam. It's so nice outside with the cooler temperature. Oof, that heat. Maybe that was something that was like triggering me. I don't know. Between my stomach feeling nauseous and then a massive migraine came through, it was like, ugh. Okay. And that is our first card. How easy was that? It was so easy. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside. And we will get ready to do our second masculine card. So it should be another blue one. And this is what this one's going to look like. You have the happy and the holographic. You're going to have the word birthday in some glitter. Then we have that fun balloon. Okay, so you're going to have your fun balloon, you're going to have the string, you're going to have your letters that will spell out happy. You might need to pop out those centers. And then you're going to have your little birthday. Now there are some parts here that you will need to pop out. Let me turn it backwards so that you can actually see. And that is the easiest part to do, is to see when it's backwards, or upside down, I should say. I need to vacuum up here. Oof. I've got stuff everywhere. I got suitcases out and bags out. I have my girls' trip next weekend. I think Matt and I are going to head to the cottage for a few days this week. And then to start packing for the cruise. Okay, so you're going to have 4 pieces of pattern paper. Those are going to go onto this white sheet. And then you have a fun piece that has been run through the embossing folder. Isn't that a fun texture? Okay, let's close our card base. And using my bone folder, I'm going to give it that good crispy edge. And we're going to put our embossed piece on first. Now, since it is embossed, you will want to be a little more generous with your adhesive, because you want it to actually adhere to your card. Okay, now this is going to get centered, and you are going to have a slightly larger border than we normally have. Okay, that looks pretty good there. Everybody keeping up with me? Okay, next we're going to take our white piece, and same thing with this one, since it is going to be laying on top of an embossed piece, you will want to be a little more generous with your adhesive because you want it to actually stick. So for this one, you will want to center it inside the harbor, which is that dark blue. Now, if you don't have harbor, a beautiful color that will go so lovely is called Secret Sea. I love it. It's just like harbor, identical. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lay these 4 panels down before we glue them down, because we want to make sure we have that spacing done with ample space, you know, so everything has a spot, so to speak. You want the same amount of spacing between. See here, I already have slightly more. Okay, so I have them in the order that I want. I'm going to start with this lagoon tiny check. So I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to leave the other 3 on, and I'm going to get my adhesive on this. And I'm going to put this one on first. And all I'm going to do is gently place it. I did not smash it down in case I need to do any wiggle. Next, I'm going to do this outer charcoal piece next. Now, if you prefer the other side of the paper, please, by all means, you are more than welcome to change up this design to suit your needs. Okay, I'm going to go to the polka dot. Now all of these patterns are close to my heart patterns. Because Stampin' Up does not have what's called bulk paper, where like with Close to My Heart, I could buy a pack of 12 of the same 2 sheets. And I don't have that big of a collection. I mean, I have a decent collection, but I did not have enough in case we had a larger class. Okay, so I have good spacing. Now I can rub my finger on top of those 4 panels. Okay? Now the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to lay our balloon down. Now the balloon itself will have some foam, but the string will not. So we're going to kind of get that situated. We're not going to actually adhere it quite yet, but we are going to put it in its position, which should overtake this upper right-hand corner. We're going to lay the word birthday on, and it will overlap your string just a bit. That's what I'm saying. We want to really be mindful first, and then we need to put on our letters for happy. Now, I believe the sample has foam on the back of them. So I'm just going to place these, again, dry fitting everything to make sure I have it all spaced to the way I like it. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to actually stick down my balloon first. And I'm going to allow it to go off that gray piece onto the embossed piece. Next, I'm going to put the string, the balloon string that's been stamped for you. And I'm going to hold it there for a second. The next thing we will put on will be the birthday. And then we will go back in and do the happy. Like I said, the happy can be foamed if you want it, or you can just put it on flat. If you have nice skinny foam tape, that would work. And this video will be moved over to the YouTube channel probably tomorrow. In addition to the Sunday Fun Day, I will probably be pre-recording that one tomorrow as well for Sunday, because I don't know if we'll be back home in time. And for sure next week's will also be another pre-recorded. All right, I'm going to see, I have some real skinny, hopefully I have it, hopefully I have enough. All right, we're gonna need some scissors. I'm going to start with the H. And I'm kind of using one of those plaid lines as my grid line. Matt's going to get to experience my nephews up north. And that's going to be determining if we come home Saturday or Sunday. I said, let's come home Saturday. And he's like, well, we'll see. Maybe we'll come home Sunday. I'm like, okay. Yeah, you don't know my nephews like I know them. Yeah, Jack is a talker. And Ryan is always on the move. And so is my brother. So we shall see. We shall see. Matt's going to bring the four-wheelers for them. Or the four-wheeler. We don't have more than one. We have one. But I know, like, the neighbor up there has one. So he'll let the boys ride his. I think my brother's bringing the boat. I just hope that it doesn't rain. Because this is the first summer in 23 years Matt has not worked at the village. So I don't know if that will change for next summer or not. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be like, yeah, I gotta do something. This doing nothing every day is for the birds, which personally, I think it's fantastic. I like doing nothing. The school year is just so busy. All right, and there is our second card. Isn't that one fun? I love it. All right, let's set that one aside. And we will get ready for our third card, which should be the next one in your bag, which will be our female card. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that fun? It's so pretty. Okay, you're going to have a little cupcake. You're going to have the words, "It's your birthday." You will have a peach. Actually, yeah, I believe this is peach. It might be melon. It might be peach. Square, and then you're going to have two rectangles. And again, you can either do the floral, which is what I did here, or you could do this other side. So it's up to you which side you do. Let's close up our card base, and we're going to give it a good crispy edge. Again, dry fit your card pieces, the two large pieces. I think I am going to do the flower. Yeah. And you are basically, you're centering the two within the base of the card. I'm going to do my larger piece first with my adhesive. And I'm going to place that on. And again, don't squish it down right away because you want to make sure that you get the other piece put on within that same spacing. I'm going to place that here. And that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take my square, and my square will be flat, and it's going to be in this bottom 2/3 of the card, more towards the right. Okay. Now we need to color our happy birthday. And for that, I used, let me look to see what colors I used. I used gold yellow, which is this one right there, gold yellow. And I am going to use the lightest one, and that is going to be for that happy face. Okay. And then we're going to use the Coral Blends, and we are going to use the medium and the dark. So Coral Blends, but we're going to use medium and dark. So I'm going to start with my dark, and it's going to be 4 letters. So I'm going to do the letter B, next month's card class will be Get Well cards, and they will be ready the week of July 27th. So you will have to do your porch pickup within that week, or you will have to wait till after I get home from my cruise. Thank goodness my mom and stepdad will be home, because they will be here doing the mail and watering my flowers. Oops, as I just went outside the line. All right, I will fix that. Go slow. You all know I cannot talk and color at the same time. It takes a talented person to do that. I hope everyone's keeping up with me. I am trying to go slow. Okay, so we did the B and the R. Now we're going to do the H in the dark. You would think having a stomach virus that you would lose weight. Well, guess again. I have not lost anything. Which I'm a little disappointed. All right, and then we're going to do the letter D, also in the dark. And then all of our other letters will be in that medium color. I guess I probably could have done, you know, alternate all 3 colors into this, but I chose not to. And then the Y will also be in that light, well, the medium, which it looks fine. I didn't want to do it in the dark because it was then the H was dark. So I probably should have planned this out a little bit better. All right, next we're going to do the medium. I'm going to grab the blender and take a little bit of my mess away. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, now we're going to do the medium. And the medium will be your I, T, A, and Y. There's no shadowing or anything with these letters. Just color them straight on. And the last one has a little bit of coloring, but not much. Now, if you have a clear shimmer brush, it would be kind of fun to put that on top of the frosting for the cupcake, just so that there's a little bit of shimmer, since this is a girl's card, and girls like sparkly things. And again, this is not necessarily a child's card, so I was really trying to be mindful when I was designing all four that it could be used for, you know, a young lady, as opposed to a little human. But they could be also for little humans. So it just depends on who would appreciate your prettiness. And this we are going to put foam on. So I am going to put some foam here. And of course, all my big rolls of foam have been packed already for the girls' trip. Okay, there we go. Oh, and we need it on the cupcake too. Okay, so we will start with the It's Your Birthday, the piece that we just finished coloring. That will go on first. So you're going to want to pick all your backings off of your foam. Okay, so again, I'm just going to place, I am not going to squish it down too heavily yet, because I want to make sure that my cupcake will fit. And this, I'm going to let it overlap my Y just a little. Perfect. Okay, now you can squish it on down. And we're going to put a little shimmer brush over the top of the cupcake. And I got to grab that. Oh. And since it's been stamped so long ago, nothing should smear. Where if it was done right after it was stamped, then you would definitely have smearing. And I'm going to put a little dot in that bow. You know what? And I think I'm going to put a little bit on my happy face too. I think that would just add that perfect little touch. And I didn't do it on this one, so Let's do it on that one. Perfect. Perfect. And that is card number 3. Isn't that fun? Just that little bit of shimmer. All right, let's get ready for card number 4. Now, number 4 is going to utilize the same exact colors. I just thought that kind of made it a little more cohesive. You will have a tiny little celebrate. You're going to have a row of candles, a peach circle, a polka dotted piece that's in toffee, this real pretty butterfly piece, which was from a mix-in, and then your base of the card. Okay, let's close up our card. Use your bone folder, give it a good crispy edge. Oh, Doris, I just saw your message. Matt and I are going on a Caribbean cruise the beginning of August, and his brother and his wife are joining us. So we will be doing the cruise line's private island and Jamaica, Grand Cayman, and then Cozumel. So those are our ports. And we are sailing out of Cape Canaveral, which that I've never done before. Not that I'm a huge cruiser, because I'm not. I mean, this will only be my, let's see, my 3rd cruise. Okay, our butterfly piece we are going to place right in the center of that toffee piece. Right in the center. And then next summer, we've booked another cruise. We will be going out of New York down to Bermuda. And for that one, it's going to be 5 couples are going on that one, which sounds like so much fun. I'm looking forward to that one too. And that one will actually be on a brand new ship that just premiered this year. So kind of exciting. All right, we are going to take our polka dot piece and we will be placing that at about 1 1/4 inches from the bottom. So about 1 1/4. Here's 1 1/4. And that one will go edge to edge. So you'll have a little bit of the butterfly showing at the bottom. Okay, so about 1/4, or about 1 1/4. You could do it slightly higher. I wish I would have, but it's okay. Then we're going to place the circle right on top. So we're going to allow it to overlap the polka dots and then overlap the butterflies. So put that right on next. All right, we're going to set all that aside and we're going to bring in our candles. Okay, so for our candles, we are going to use that same coral blend, and we are going to use the same, what cruise line? Norwegian. We will be on Norwegian. Bermuda, we will be there for 3 days. We will be docked for 3 days. And then, and we will fly in a day early before, which will actually be Matt's birthday and our anniversary. Next summer will be our travel day into New York. And then we'll be staying in New York for the night. And then on, I don't even know what day of the week any of that is. Friday. Then Saturday we would board the ship, and that would be the Luna through Norwegian. Well, I will pick your brain, Linda, for ideas on Bermuda, what to do. All right, I'm going to start with the medium. And for this, all I did was like this, for the second one that has the stripes, I just colored that all the way with the medium. The polka dot one right next to it, I just went right in and I dotted those little polka dots. Yeah, we weren't really expecting to do like a cruise so fast back to back like this. I know it's really not back to back, but for us it's back to back. The fourth candle we're going to do in a dark, so we will hold off on that one. The next one we're skipping. The next one, that's the diagonal stripes, we're not going to do anything to it yet. Now you're back to that long stripe. Color it in the medium. So it's basically these two, the long striped one and the polka dot will be your mediums. Yeah, his Matt's buddy, who was a U.S. Marshal, he's now retired. Him and his wife do all kinds of Norwegian cruises like all the time. And so they're actually the ringleaders of the organizing of this whole trip. And then another buddy of his that lives really close to us. And then they have a friend that lives in Brazil. So him and his wife are coming in for the cruise. And then Matt's brother and his wife will be joining us. So there's 5 couples that are going on this cruise. And I think it's going to be a hoot. So something to look forward to in a year, and it will get me through the school year, that's for sure. So do all those long striped one and then the polka dot one with your medium. And like I said, I have a hard time talking and coloring at the same time. All right, then we're going to do a few in the dark. So it's going to be the first and the fourth. So those will be the ones that we will repeat this lovely pattern. And so this, I'm going to just ever so carefully, like every other stripe. Because what we probably would have done is like waited till 2028 so that we would have had a little bit longer to, like pay it all off. But nope, they wanted to do 2027, so it'll be fine. We will be good to go. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to skip one completely, and then you're back to that diagonal stripe. And I don't know how to explain that. Okay, then you have the light, and then another diagonal, but I'm doing the whole candle. Oh, you guys are going to Europe. Way cool, Linda. That would be my next one, I think, as a cruise. I'd like to do like a Mediterranean cruise. So maybe we'll take a little time off and then start planning that one. Because that I'd like to go in more than a day early so that we could see a little bit more of wherever we decide to leave out of. And I think cruising would be kind of fun for a Mediterranean. And I told Matt, as long as I keep working, we will keep vacationing. No more vacations, no more work. Because I have enough years and I can go now. Each year is a bonus year. That's the way I'm looking at it. Okay, next we have these candles. Well, I am going to use my new Golden Glow shimmer brush, but what I want to do first is get this onto my card before I do that, because again, it is raised. So I'm going to put some foam on the back. You know what I think we'll do? Let's see what I have here in dimensionals, because I think that would make my life so much simpler. Ah, there we go. That was the ticket. That was definitely the way to go. All right, I'm going to peel these off. Yep. But I do not do summer school. More power to you to do summer school. I can't. I need this time off as my mental break. Okay. So this, we are going to center it over the circle and over the polka dotted pieces. Just like that. So you're going to have a little bit here, but you would have more circle on top. And then we'll do that little celebrate. I'm going to use my liquid glue for that because it's such a small little piece. And I'm going to let that overlap the circle and a little bit of the butterfly and a little bit of the toffee paper. Okay, now I'm going to go through the candles with the Golden Glow shimmer brush. And what that's going to do is that's going to give it the illusion of the flames. And I'm just kind of giving it a little bit more, like right where that wick is, just so it looks like there's, you know, that little bit of a flicker. I need to start working on our September, October, November, and December cards. I would like to have them done before I go back to work. Don't know if that's going to happen. All right. See, just that little bit of shimmer on those. And that is our fourth card. Pretty easy peasy. Now our cards for next month. We have this Get Well card here. And remember, you can always ask for no sentiments on the fronts or the insides. And you're like, you know what? I need more birthday cards as opposed to Get Well cards, or you need more thank yous. And you have, I know you all have so many stamps at home. You're more than welcome to then do your own stamping. You would just get all of the parts and then you would just do your own stamping at home. Okay, so that's our first card. This is our second card. Now again, like let's say you're like, I don't want the sentiment here. You will still get those three elements that you could put onto a different card if you wanted. Because once I start cutting and stamping, I usually just mass produce. And it does take several hours. So now you have this darling one. This one's a little bit more masculine. And then we have this fun one. Look at that background. That was one of those, which one? Oh, this one? You like this one? This one's cute and easy. This piece is that leftover that was cut off of here. Pretty smart, huh? So I did, you know, kind of like that one could be masculine, feminine. This one's more kid-ish. This one's definitely feminine. And then this one was a little more masculine. So I really tried to think of like who you would be sending these out to. And this background is textured with a embossing folder. So yeah, and some of them are just very small little sentiments on the inside. Now this one's a little more on the complicated side because there's a lot of die cuts here. The whole background is a die cut. The foiled piece is a die cut. Your jar has 1, 2, 3 die cuts plus 2 flowers. So you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 die cuts just on this card alone. And then we have this fun one, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4 die cuts here. And then you have this one here that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 here again, 5 die cuts. So when I say there's a deadline, and it's for a reason, because then it takes me several hours to prep up our kits. So I don't want to sound like I'm being mean, but that's why there's no late registration for card class. It is you commit and that's it. Or you can purchase the set after I am done with class, which has now all been done. But I will only sell one set as opposed to both sets because I still need cards as well. Alrighty, so I believe that is everything for tonight. Your Sunday Fun Day will be posted on Wednesday. That video will be posted on Sunday, and it will probably be a pre-recorded video, more than likely, just because I don't know when we're coming back home. And I want to give myself enough time to get all of it done. Alrighty, so thanks for pivoting and coming on tonight as opposed to Thursday. And have a great evening. Have a super rest of your week, and I will see you all real soon. Good night.